What's going on, guys? It's Fight Season MMA, and today I want to make a quick video talking about Ilia Topuria's fight analysis of his fight coming up with Max Holloway as the main event of UFC Abu Dhabi in October, where he says that Max Holloway will be a much easier opponent than Alexander Volkanovski, which is an incredible statement to make, considering that Alexander Volkanovski is 1-3 in his last 4, and Max Holloway just won the BMF title, won a fight against Arnold Allen and Korean Zombie in his last 3. So he's 3-0 in his last 3. If you guys enjoy the UFC content, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. That is the best way to help the channel grow. Also, while you're down there, please turn on the post notifications just so you guys are always updated with daily MMA content that releases, because I cover all the news in the UFC community. So if you guys want to stay up to date with that, please turn on the post notifications. And we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So helping us reach that number would be absolutely amazing. So subscribing is the best way to do that. So let's jump right into the video of Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway and his analysis of that fight. As we all know, the main event for UFC Abu Dhabi in October is Ilia the Matador Topuria versus Max Blessed Holloway in an amazing fight, and a very uneven fight for that Abu Dhabi main event, a fight that I really don't know how to predict right now. Ilia Topuria came out and said that Max Holloway is going to be an easier opponent than Alexander Volkanovski. Ilia Topuria had an interview today with the MMA Junkie where he said that Max Holloway will be a way easier opponent for Ilia Topuria than Alex Volkanovski is, and that he will KO him in the first round, and it's going to be a complete masterpiece. And this confidence from Ilia Topuria is nothing new. Versus Alexander Volkanovski, he said that there was going to be a first-round KO, which he ended up KOing Volk in the second round in one of the most impressive performances I have ever seen. Volkanovski was on a tear, with his only 2 losses coming at lightweight to Islam Makhachev, who is the pound-for-pound number 1 fighter in the world. The first one was very close, and the second one was where Volkanovski took the fight up on 10 days notice, and he ended up getting caught pretty early in that fight. But Ilia beating Volkanovski was a very impressive performance, but I do not agree with his statement that Volk will be an easier fight than Max Holloway will be for him. Max Holloway is going to be able to accumulate damage as the fight goes on. He's going to also be able to take a shot from Ilia Topuria. Ilia Topuria, we all know, is a very big quality over quantity fighter. In that first round versus Alexander Volkanovski, I believed he lost that first round, not necessarily because he wasn't landing good shots, but because Volkanovski was landing more output on him. Now, in that second round, it was pretty evident that Ilia Topuria was looking for that big shot, which he flatline KO'd Alexander Volkanovski with that beautiful right overhand, and he would have killed him if he hit him with that left hook follow-up. But Ilia Topuria has all of that power and all of that precision and all of that accuracy in his duffel because of how he trains and of his motto, I believe, of him going for quality over quantity. So you're not going to see a bunch of this pitter-patter coming around from Ilia Topuria. Rather, from Max Holloway, there's going to be a lot of strikes that don't necessarily equivalent to damage, rather than just absolute, quality and snowballing effect from Holloway in that standpoint. Now, the biggest difference between Holloway and Volkanovski, which is going to make the biggest difference, which I kind of alluded to earlier, was Max Holloway's chin being incredible. Max Holloway possibly has the best chin in the UFC. I made a top 10 chins in the UFC video, which I had Max Holloway at number 2, with Chito Vera at number 1, because Chito had never been knocked down. Now, recently, Chito Vera got knocked down, so I believe that Max Holloway is number 1 in the UFC organization. So I don't think that Ilia Topuria, or he's going to have a very hard time knocking him out, but I don't know if I could see Ilia being the first person to knock Max Holloway out. The only 2 people in that featherweight division who could truly sleep Holloway would be Ilia and Josh Emmett. Those are the 2 hardest hitting featherweights currently in the UFC. They both hit like Mack trucks, and I could 100% see either one of them doing it. But Max's chin is so good. He's got so much heart. He's got so much elusiveness, and he's got so much just cognitive ability to be able to recognize when a tough shot is coming in his direction. Max is going to be preparing for the very powerful shots coming from those right and left swinging hooks and those very nice straight punches down below. A great fight to watch for Max Holloway would be that Josh Emmett fight for Ilia Topuria. That was an absolute masterclass over Emmett, and a very dominant win over a very skilled opponent in that featherweight division. But I do think that Max Holloway is going to have the upper hand in the striking department because of the just the output he's going to be able to put on. And I think Ilia Topuria is going to have a hard time getting to him during the range, because Max has some good kicks. He has some good knee kicks to be able to stop his opponent from pressing forward. And Ilia Topuria is a shorter featherweight, like someone like Alexander Volkanovski. But as we all know, Volkanovski destroyed Max Holloway in their third fight, won a very close decision in the second fight and won the first fight pretty handily. So there is 100% a way that Ilia Topuria could crack the code, and he would be the first fighter in UFC history to defeat both Max Holloway and Alexander Volkanovski. Ultimately, the way I see Ilia Topuria winning this fight is his most underrated aspect, and that is in his wrestling and grappling and jiu-jitsu department. Ilia is a very good jiu-jitsu fighter, so I can 100% see Ilia Topuria going in there and wrestling or throwing up jiu-jitsu moves and submissions to ultimately close the fight out early. But I could also see Ilia Topuria getting a knockout over Max Holloway just because of that perfect form he possesses, that punching power being immaculate, and everything that he does inside the UFC octagon being amazing. But like I've said, Max Holloway is a very hard fighter to get out of there. He's never been finished, and Max Holloway is going to be a very resilient opponent for Ilia Topuria in that octagon, which is going to make for one of the best events of the year at UFC 308. Top to bottom, that card is stacked, and the main event is possibly the best main event of 2024 and possibly the best main event of the last couple of years because of how evenly matched Ilia Topuria and Max Holloway are for one another.